Welcome to Backstage Pass, the podcast that gives you an all-access ticket behind the magic with the people who make Disney truly special, its cast members. I'm Dory, your host and fellow Disney fan, here to share first-hand stories from the cast members who bring the parks to life. From heartwarming moments to behind-the-scenes secrets, we're uncovering the magic together. So grab your Mickey ears, it's time to step backstage. Hello and welcome to another episode of Backstage Pass with Dory. As you know, I'm Dory, and I'm really excited for this conversation because this is our first conversation with someone specifically about the Disney College program. It was really interesting to me to find out, well, what happens when you stumble upon this opportunity and you get this chance to do the Disney College program and then go back to your life in college. Like, that just feels so wild to me. So I'm really excited to be able to talk to Gavin about his experience. But before we get to that, as you know, at the start of every episode, I like to share a guest experience because this whole podcast is celebrating the cast members and what they are doing for the guests to make it extra magical. And so in this case, I want to talk about two cast members who my family met during the Droid Depot experience. So this was a holiday present for my son. He got this opportunity to build a droid. And so he kind of knew what to expect, but he also had a couple of things that he was really hoping for. And he went into this experience and he was ready to ask all the questions. And there were two cast members in particular, Sierra and Giovanni, who were especially awesome. So they met him as he was going through the line and he was asking about different voices for the different chips that you can get. And while they could have just given their form answer, well, this chip does this and this chip does this, which we had heard before. No, they didn't do that. Instead, Sierra proceeds to go through every single chip and act out what that chip was and the sort of personality behind that chip. Now, if you want to hear what I'm talking about, we actually recorded this and put it on our YouTube channel, Doyle Adventures. It's episode number 25. Definitely go and see it because she was spectacular. And Giovanni was right there along with her. And then after David had made this droid, we happened to see them outside in the little open area where once you made a droid, you could go and you could use it because you're not allowed to use it throughout the parks, but you can use it in this one specific area. And so we proceeded to have this amazing experience with these cast members. There was nothing truly out of the ordinary, except for they were just really cool people who made the experience even cooler by making it personal for my son. And won't forget them. And we have it on video, which is even more awesome. Now let's get on to our guest for today. This is the interview that I have with Gavin Sanches. Now, Gavin is a former cast member at Disney World. He worked under the college program, the Disney College Program, DCP. His role was at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, welcoming in travelers into Oga's Cantina. What? How cool is that? To enjoy the finest concoctions of the galaxy. Throughout this adventure, he made new friends, he gained invaluable experience, and one thing we didn't get a chance to talk about, he even found a girlfriend to call his own during the experience. So now that the college program is over for him, he is pursuing a new journey, and this time is at Universal Studios Hollywood as a ride operator for Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge. And with that information, I think the start of this interview is going to make a lot more sense, and we'll certainly get into it towards the end. But with that, enjoy my interview with Gavin.
Oh,
Hello.
hello, hello.
I
Anyways,
can hear you. I can't
yep,
see you though.
yep. Okay, let me fix that. Oh, hello, hello there. It's me, Mario. Hello. Hi.
I love it. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for
Good.
asking.
Good. I am so excited to talk to you about your time with DCP.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are going to be my first guest that will have done, well, no, I had other guests that did DCP, but
hmm
they then went on to do other roles, so they talked a lot about that.
hmm
Um, Throughout it, are you okay kind of sharing like how you got into DCP and all of that?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
absolutely.
Good. So, Gavin, thank you so much for joining in. And Mario too.
Yes,
Hello.
hello. I don't know if people can see or not, but like I'm holding a little Mario puppet over here. This is actually like a piece of merch from Super Nintendo World itself. I don't know if they sell them anymore, so it's fun to have this little guy.
Might be a little collector's edition there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Well, we're gonna definitely talk about what life looks like now, but we're gonna get there in a little bit. I wanna
Absolutely.
I wanna first start with pre-Disney college program. I want to start like little Gavin. Was
Yeah.
was Disney a part of your life growing up?
Oh yeah, it absolutely was. Yeah. So yeah, Disney was a big part of my childhood growing up. Primarily with Pixar films actually. Had a lot of DVDs and Blu-rays of various Pixar films. So I grew up with stuff like, Finding Nemo, Cars, Wall-E is still my all-time favorite film.
So good.
Like,
Such
yeah, I
a good
know.
film.
Monsters Incorporated, Toy Story, had a VHS of Toy Story 2 like way back when, but I don't know where that is anymore. Probably long gone at this point. But uh I basically grew up with this kind of stuff. But yeah, mostly Pixar. So like I identify more with Pixar's output of films more so than the classic Disney stuff.
All right.
So yeah.
Did you have like when did the Disney college program come onto your radar? At what point were you thinking, okay, I want to do that?
Yeah, I didn't actually know about the Disney College Program until like my dad was like scouting out different new opportunities for me and just kind of came across it. I don't know where or how he found it, but he sent it my way and he's just like, "Dude, you should try applying for this." And I'm just like, "Oh yeah, like this looks interesting to work at Disney World. Okay, I might give this a shot. I don't know." And so I'm just like, yeah, screw it. I'll just put myself out there, give that a shot.
Yeah.
And so I applied, and eventually they reached back out for a phone call interview, as many others do. And then, yeah, one thing led to another. It's just I got an email saying, like, hey, you're accepted. And I
Mhm.
was just like, what? No, no, there's no way.
Did it feel really fast as you went through it?
Yeah, yeah, it felt pretty fast. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how long the process took. I think maybe over the course of a couple weeks overall.
Wow, that is fast.
Yeah. Ultimately, yeah, it was a pretty fast turnover, and once once everything just kind of fell into place, I was just like, yeah, I guess I'm doing this now. So I accepted the offer letter after much deliberation. And you want to know where they placed me? You want to know where they placed me? It was pretty cool.
Well, I know because I got to see you there, but
Oh
yes,
yeah, you did.
tell
Yeah, I got to work at a Star Wars Galaxy's Edge doing seating at Oga's Cantina as well as the little droid carts that sell the novelty soda bottles and the blue milk stand. Basically kind of like that outdoor food area pretty much.
so cool. So, when I know with the DCP program, you got to make requests of specific categories, right? Is that how they still
Yeah.
do it?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, you can list preferences on like what kind of roles you want. You can list a preference on like what kind of apartment that you want.
Mhm.
There's no guarantee that you'll get any of your preferences.
Right.
I listed a preference for a 4x2 apartment building and I got it,
Mhm.
though I'm sure plenty of others can't say the same because there's only so many spaces they can work with. And yeah, there's just a lot of uncontrollable factors
Right.
that play into this whole experience.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. Aside from the living aspect, which was extremely hit or miss, I did enjoy the work aspect of my program. Getting like I listed personally, I did list attractions as my preference for what kind of role I wanted, and I didn't get it, unfortunately. But the job that I did get was in a themed land, which I was like more than happy to just, like be all in there, just kind of. I just say I just miss saying bright suns to everyone. I miss that. Like I can like nothing's stopping me, but now it's not like
It's not the same world. It's not
not
that
the
same universe.
same. No, you're right.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Okay, so you listed attractions as number one. Um, I guess would you be in dining? Is that what your category
Yeah.
ended up being?
Yeah, it's the role is more commonly associated as the role is known as a food and beverage.
Food and
That's
beverage.
the position that I had. In Galaxy's Edge, there's two different teams for food and beverage. There's like the one half that takes care of like the marketplace area, which is, Ronto Roasters, Docking Bay 7, the Katsaka's Kettle popcorn stand.
Mhm.
And then the other half works Oga's Cantina and the various outdoor vending stands.
All right. Now, but going into it, you had no idea you were going to be in Batuu. You had
Yep.
no idea about any of that.
Nope.
So you just knew food and beverage.
Yeah. Well, actually, I didn't know what role I was gonna get until like I saw like when I was like doing like my little processes through Workday and stuff. That's when I saw my role listed, and it did explicitly mention Oga's Cantina up front right there. So that's how I knew. Some locations have more vaguely worded names, like some are that they're just a little confusing. Like they kind of like hop onto a Facebook group and they just ask like, "Hey, I found my role. What the heck is this?"
Yes.
But no, like because my role was explicitly mentioned with the name Oga's, I knew exactly where I was going.
And that was before you landed in Florida.
Yep, that was before I landed.
Okay. Because that feels really rare. From what I've heard, people don't know until they're checking in, like
Yeah.
in their room
It's
key.
probably because of the reason I mentioned with like some people like see their role listed, but it's so vaguely worded that they don't know exactly what that means.
Okay, so do you remember what was the wording for you? Like what actually gave you that clue? Or did it say Oga's on it?
It just said Ogas as well as carts,
Okay,
which refer to the droid stands.
got it. Got it. Were you
So
pretty
yeah,
excited
that's
at
how
that
I
point?
knew. Huh?
Were you pretty excited at that point?
I was really, really excited.
Were you a Star Wars fan growing up?
Oh yeah, I was. I forgot to mention, yeah, like I mentioned Disney and Pixar, but like I've also grown up with Star Wars as well. I was pretty big on that as a kid.
Hmm.
Like I might still have like a Jedi robe in my closet that I occasionally pull out if I just need a last minute Halloween costume idea.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've experienced Galaxy's Edge several times. I've built the custom lightsaber. I did the whole experience. All that fun stuff. I grew up with the little plastic lightsabers, the ones where you like slide the little switch and you just swing it and it
Yep.
just extends those
We have
things.
multiples of those. We have multiples of those in our house.
I see you got a custom droid on your shelf as well.
Yes, that is mine. That's the one that I made. Her name is BB Grape.
Oh,
Um,
I love that.
yes,
I'm
and
I'm yeah.
and then my
I made a
kids.
custom one as well when I was there on the opening week. It was like a little it was like this it was the same purple colorway but with the dome head instead.
Yep.
They ran out of black parts in that moment, so
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, my kids have, let's see, we have R and is it C? The chopper units? I
Yeah,
think
the chopper units.
yes. And
On
now
that
they have
matter, give me a
another one
second.
as well, which we're like, oh no, we have to build another
Yeah,
and add
give
it
me
to
a
our
second here.
collection. Okay. For everyone listening, he's running off, I think, to show me his droid. I'm so excited. I love these things. They are so creative. Oh, what a cutie.
Yes, here he is.
Oh my gosh. Does he have a name?
I believe I named this one C1T5M,
Okay.
which is a very cheeky reference to my all-time favorite ride, Toy Story Mania,
Love it.
because like the 5 is an S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Um he's
I
just a
love
little
it.
guy.
He's so cute. I
Yeah,
mean,
I have my girlfriend's family to thank for this actually.
oh,
They came in to visit and just surprised me with a little droid building experience. And I was just like, "Oh, no way. I guess I'm making a chopper unit now."
oh my gosh. That is so cute. So you were there starting in June, right? June of last year?
I was there starting in January.
Oh, in January. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Okay. So that was like towards the end of your when I saw you. That was
Mm-hmm.
towards the end of your time there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Awesome. So, okay, so you're doing Oga's helping people get seated. I know that was still in this crazy time that you had to make reservations
Mm-hmm.
before you could really do some walk-up stuff. Any like really cool experiences you were able to help a guest or troubles that came about?
I will say, Oga's Cantina is definitely a cool and fun place to work. However, it's the way that they designed this building and its experience is a little silly and causes a lot of confusion among guests. Simply put, if you're making reservations for dining experiences on the My Disney Experience app, you can scroll through the list and see like all the little options that are available, and you can see like, oh, like here's this Star Wars themed restaurant location, and most guests can just kind of book that, not really knowing what they're kind of getting themselves into because it's not advertised very well on the app. Um, because it's kind of just listed under the same list as all the other reservation-based restaurants and uses the exact same system. So I've had to deal with the issue quite a lot where I'd bring together guests and I'd explain to them like what they're getting themselves into right then and there, that this is a bar experience, that they're gonna have 45 minutes to enjoy their drinks, and then they're just and then they're like, "Wait, do you have food in here?" And I'm just like, "I get this a lot." I don't say that, but
There is food, but
there is
it's
food. There's like a couple
happy
snack options, but we don't really have anything that will fill you up for you hungry guests. I'm sorry.
and it's very
Docking
deep.
Bay 7 is across the way, though.
Yeah. But that being said, it's a really cool experience inside
Yeah,
there.
it is a cool experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not only that, but also like you I don't know if you've seen, you probably have, but like in Oga's Cantina itself, there's barely any seating.
Hmm.
There's like 6 booth positions which can hold up to 3 parties at a time depending on the group size. And from there, it's like in like the rest of the areas, like the bar area, the high top tables, they're all standing spots. So that like in a way that's trying to accommodate as many people as they can, which comes at the expense of some comfort. Um, which can cause an issue if a group of guests comes in and don't denote the any accessibility preferences prior to coming in. So that can be a little bit of a hassle, like having to explain to them, I'm so sorry, we're gonna have to give you a quoted wait time in order to get you into your preferred place.
Hmm.
Or heck, there's even been a few, very few handful of times where people just straight up weren't comfortable with sharing spaces at all and just had to leave.
Yeah.
That was out of my control.
Right. Right. Yeah. And that's the sort of thing that you have to catch them at the door, but then sometimes
Yeah.
I'm sure they're so excited to get in there and have this experience,
Yeah.
not telling
Or
you.
people are just
And
a lot of guests I've noticed aren't usually the most excitable type. Usually like the people the true like Disney adults are a little few and far between to find for some reason. Most of the guests I've experienced were pretty much just that, just guests coming in for vacation, just kind of getting through the day, I guess. But I mean, like honestly, like there's no shame on that. Honestly, like just like whatever floats your boat, however you want to do your day is perfectly fine.
right, right. Okay, so I just want to backtrack a little bit.
Yeah.
So let's kind of go back to when you first landed in Florida. You go, you get your room key. How does that work when you are initially employed
hmm
through the Disney College program? What do you have to do first?
Okay, so first things first, yeah, like I actually arrived at Florida a day early so that I could make it to Flamingo the following morning on time.
Mhm.
And from there, I had my mom help get things set up where we brought in our luggage. I dropped off. I kind of like set it in a little drop off area as I went through this little orientation video thing explaining like the basic rules and stuff, getting through things, and just basically just kind of like learning where we're going to be going, what apartment number we're going to have. And I was in Flamingo Crossings East, over in the Edna neighborhood,
Is it named for Edna
and
Mode?
that's yeah, E for
Okay.
Edna.
Okay.
All the lettered neighborhoods are associated with a character.
Awesome.
So like right next to it is B, which is Bagheera from
Jungle Book.
uh Jungle Book, yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much how things go. And then like you have like a little itinerary in your email that explains like what days and what times you should be for Disney traditions, which is basically their way of enrolling. There's just kind of like explaining what they are as a company, all that good stuff. You get paid that day, so yeah.
So in the college program, do you do it for credits? Like, do you get college credits as well, or is it a internship, a paid internship?
It's basically just like a paid internship. I genuinely don't know what college, if at all, actually accepts the Disney College program as work credits.
Okay.
Because mine certainly didn't.
Hmm.
I'm not sure which like what it could be for work credit because like I don't know honestly. But like doing the Disney College program for work credit is like that's probably not like the reason you should be there if that's something you're looking towards.
Right. Right. So, um, what would you say was um what was like a typical day like for you?
Typical day, a day in the life of the Disney College program, like those little promotional videos they do on Instagram.
But I want the real story.
Yeah. All right. Well, first of all, I roll out of bed and doze off for like 20 more minutes. I don't know. And yeah, okay. Basically I just kind of get up and get into my costume, which they allow you to bring into the apartments.
Okay.
To kind of like get myself into my outfits, throw on this little nifty name tag, Galaxy's Edge.
The Galaxy's Edge name tags are
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, we also got the normal ones as well
Okay.
because like it's like
Yeah.
during Disney traditions we got the normal ones. So I actually used it a handful of times when working at a Woody's Lunchbox.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, every now and then I was there.
Hmm.
Yeah, anyways, back to it. So, yeah, I take the bus to get there since I didn't bring my own personal form of transport.
Hmm.
And from there, yeah, it'd take like around like 25 minutes for it to reach Hollywood Studios. And yeah, and then from cast services, getting myself through. It's just a straight shot walk around backstage all the way down to Galaxy's Edge. Takes about around like 10, 15 minutes to walk there. Um, us Batuu locals like to call it the Batuu Mile.
Okay.
It's not an actual mile, but it sure feels like it.
Right.
But yeah, yeah, it's just kind of yeah, like my venue is like all the way down, just like pretty much the farthest out you can walk to get down there. Then where I clock in is directly behind Oga's Cantina.
Okay. Now, what do you do if you're in costume? What do you do on those super rainy days that happens in Orlando?
We have ponchos.
Okay. So you just hope you don't get soaking wet in between
Yeah,
your
yeah.
walk to
Hmm.
work. Okay. I was always wondering that. Um, Now you said that you sometimes were pulled to work at Woody's
Woody's
Lunchbox. I always want
Lunchbox.
to say Woody's Roundup, but different restaurant.
Yeah,
Um,
Woody's Roundup.
exactly. So sometimes you got pulled there. Did you know going into it, like had they given you a costume for that, saying sometimes your shift will be over here? Or
Yeah, like it's called a deployment
okay.
because every now and then they'll just need an extra hand in a certain location, and they would deploy others who are trained in those locations to just like provide that extra helping hand over there. So like those who are trained in like merch, maybe they can deploy them over to like a resort that needs some extra hands. In my case, there was one single time where I was deployed over to the Roundup Rodeo barbecue. I'm sure you're familiar with that location where we have the little cowboy hats and vests and everything. I
Yeah.
hammed it up over there. It was a little confusing trying to learn the seating and everything, but I think I nailed it. I think I did all right. I had a blast over there. It was
Yeah.
so much fun.
So do they then have, I mean, because you wouldn't have been given a costume for that the whole time. Do they have just spares that, hey, we need you over here today, go grab it?
Yeah, we need to grab the costumes. The costuming for Hollywood Studios, it's different for every location,
Mhm.
every park, and every resort. But every location has a costuming location that is open for a certain period of time during the day where you can pick up a costume for that location. Like in my case, in Hollywood Studios, there's costuming right directly in cast services where you can pick up a costume um for Galaxy's Edge. There's a ton of them, ton of different options. They have costumes for Toy Story Land. They have costumes for such and such, yada yada yada. I'm pretty sure this is might have been where they also had the costumes for the Galactic Star Cruiser as well, but I wouldn't know that because it was already
Oh,
long gone by the time I made it.
I know.
But yeah, ultimately, like if we need to be at a certain location for a deployment, or if we picked up a shift voluntarily, we'd
Mhm.
need to pick up the correct costume prior to that shift starting.
Okay. So was it a checkout, like you would check out the costume and then when you were done, would you have to clean it before turning it back in, or would they take care of that?
They will take care of it.
Okay.
When you're done with the costume, you could just drop it off, and they'll take care of whatever they need to do with like washing the costume after before hanging it back up. Because
Okay.
they're very big on safety.
Yeah.
Because as they say, safety begins with me.
I'm
Oh
assuming
boy.
from that in traditions.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
kind of missed that phrase. It was a little silly.
I have to say, so, doing this podcast, I was never a Disney cast member. I think that I going back in time, I would absolutely have done the Disney College program, but it just wasn't for
Yeah.
me at that time in my life. And I really regret it because it sounds like so much
Yeah.
fun. And I would have loved the Disney traditions. I would have loved all of that. I would have been like, yes, so enthusiastic about it. So doing
Yeah.
a podcast
They
and
used to
talking.
have one for Disneyland, if I remember, but after COVID happened, they shut it down. They never brought it back.
Okay. Well, because I was wondering why. why would you wouldn't have done it over there. So, all right.
Yeah, because I'm a California local,
That's
over in
right.
good old SoCal.
That's right. Okay, so um I have a question for you, having spent so much time in Hollywood studios.
Hmm.
If you could design any sort of attraction, experience, do you have an idea like, oh, they should be doing this?
Mm, honestly, I'm not sure. That's a really good question.
Okay.
Let me think, let me think, let me think.
Okay.
So they already have Toy Story Land and Galaxy's Edge that's taking over where the former Backlot Tour used to be
Hmm.
back when the park was MGM. So they don't really have any more room to add in any of those areas. So all that's really left to do is to replace any existing areas, which they're already doing with um
We are so sad about
with
Muppets going
Muppets.
away.
Muppet Vision is going down this June. Mama Melrose comes down a little earlier. Pizza Rizzo, rest in pizza Rizzaronis. I will say the concepts for the new suspension coaster for that Monsters Incorporated attraction looks sick. It
It's,
looks awesome. I genuinely can't wait for that. I am a little nervous though because from the concept arts it looks a little bit like the show building for that ride kind of blocks the way where Galaxy's Edge cast members have to pass through to get to their place. So I'm wondering how that's gonna mess with their schedules, especially those who rely on the buses.
oh, wow. They're going to
I'm
have to
I'm
rethink
I'm
all
I'm
of that.
wondering, yeah, I'm wondering like what they're gonna do about that. They're either gonna need to like walk through the building or around it. I'm not sure because it definitely looks like it's gonna extend into the parking lot area, and that's like right in the middle of where Galaxy's Edge cast members walk through
Yeah.
to get to their stuff and to get to their place.
Oh gosh.
So, yeah, anyways, back to your question. I
Okay.
kind of rambled. Um, I would say if there's anything new I'd want to add, I'd probably want to put it over in where the Star Wars launch bay area is, in the animation courtyard. Because I feel like that space is heavily underutilized at the moment. It's kind of just a big open courtyard with it's got the Little Mermaid stage show which they're refurbishing and reopening soon, so that's not really an issue there with that building. Over on the right, Disney Junior, which again, not a problem because they need a show for the kiddos. I don't see an issue with that being there. I feel like that belongs. It's just that middle section, the Star Wars characters meet and greets. I do feel like there is a place for those Star Wars character meet and greets, especially since you can't exactly meet Darth Vader, or actually it's just Darth Vader that's there that you can't meet in Galaxy's Edge.
Right. Right. What's nice about Launch Bay is that you have those private experiences
Yeah,
meeting.
exactly. That's
But
kind of like what they do over in Disneyland as well, which takes over the former Innoventions Carousel of Progress building.
mhm,
And I do feel like there is a place for these meet and greets in the parks because it provides those experiences that they can't otherwise find anywhere else because everything else is so heavy on theming.
mhm.
But I will say that I feel like it's still heavily underutilized and it can be used for something else. And I feel like they can move the meet and greets somewhere else. And I'm just gonna say this. They should just bring back Jedi Academy, honestly.
I know.
Just they have the little stage right off the footstep of Star Tours. Just bring back Jedi Academy and you have your Darth Vader meet and greet just pretty much right then and there.
I know.
If
I'll tell you,
not
Gavin,
exactly as it is because they don't trust kids for some reason. I don't know. They could just they could just like have it as like a traditional meet and greet
yeah.
out there or something,
I've
anything.
had I had an interview a couple days ago with Jedi Justin Aldridge, who was a Jedi and as a part of Jedi Training Academy.
I love that.
Um, and it was such a cool experience. And ever since COVID, it's like not been there. But the stories he was telling were so good about the sorts of kids that he would have and the ways that he had to handle because it's telling this story
Yeah.
improv.
It's a show for kids, and you know how kids be.
Yes, yes, kids are kids, no matter what.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Okay, so um
I have heard talk of some cast members saying that they should have put Runaway Railway where Launch Bay is and just kept the Great Movie Ride. And
hmm,
yeah, there's space there. They could have done that, but oh well.
I know. I I obviously had not obviously. I had done Great Movie Ride ages ago. I mean like as a little kid. So I don't really remember it, but I will say I love Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Yeah.
I love it. And I
Yeah,
can't
it's such
tell
a good
you why.
ride.
It is. I can't tell you why because it's not like it's the best ride at Disney parks, but for some reason it is my must-do ride whenever we go to the parks.
Yeah.
And I
I don't know if you
cannot tell
can
you why.
see on the top shelf. Back there, there's a little Runaway Railway train set that I bought for way too dang much during a 50% cast member sale.
Hey, you got it for 50% off.
Yeah,
Chew,
it was still stupid expensive.
I know. Well, it's Disney.
And
They have
yeah.
a good way of separating you from your money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will say I do prefer Disneyland's iteration of the ride better than Disney World's. There's just a few things here and there that I feel like they did a little better.
Yeah.
Um, just some tiny subtle differences, but largely they're the same ride.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard that the walkthrough is really cool on.
Oh, it's amazing. You get to see the Mousquetour, you get to see the giant beanstalk, you get to see Miss Mickey's disco outfits.
Oh, that's
All
so
this very vintage old Mickey stuff like showcased in the museum as if he was a true movie star. It's awesome.
Oh, that's so neat. I love that. Yeah, we need to make it out to Disneyland so we can check it out and do the comparison. Okay, so what would be your dream Disney role? If you could work anywhere on Disney property at any of the parks, what would you want to be doing?
To be honest, I was secretly hoping for Toy Story Mania. That's my all-time favorite ride. Though now in hindsight, I'm wondering if I would have enjoyed my time there because I have a friend who did get Toy Story Mania and has mentioned quite a lot about the attraction like breaking down constantly. Like the main two tracks, which has the highest capacity, constantly goes down, and so they need to feed the guests through track C, which is the which only has a single load and unload station compared to the first show building, which has two.
Yes.
So like the line slows down to a crawl when when that happens.
Oh, okay.
And yeah.
So I'm trying to picture it because all I know is when you go down the stairway, you're either on one side of the track or the other side of the track.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
another loading area besides
Yeah,
right there?
there's another. Okay, so when Toy Story Mania originally opened, before Toy Story Land, they had what you mentioned with the stairs. It
Mhm.
basically just goes up, past and it kind of connects to the bookshelf on the wall, and it goes down into the two loading areas. Um, but then when they opened Toy Story Land and moved the entrance and all that stuff, they took over an unused soundstage that was right next to it and added another track.
Okay.
And this has like an alternate Andy's bedroom, which starts you from ground level, going through the closet and through like a giant open door, and the ride takes place under Andy's bed.
That's the under Andy's bed because I kept hearing this rumor about when you're in you're under Andy's
Yeah.
bed. And every time my family and I go to Midway Mania, we look and we're like, this is not under Andy's bed. We are there's his bed right there. We're next to it. We're in his room, but we're not under the bed. So It's the alternate track that is under.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
When all tracks are fully operational, they feed guests one way, they stop, and then they feed guests the other way. So they kind of disperse them left or right. So
Yes.
they disperse them left up the stairs or to the right up the ramp, and starting at ground level and stuff. Yeah, like when I went through C for the first time, I was just like, "Where am I? I could have sworn there were stairs."
Okay. Okay, so this is going to be my goal now is to get track C.
Yeah, I will say like track C doesn't have like the same loading efficiency since it has
Sure.
only a single load and unload, and it doesn't like it unloads and loads from the same area instead of like using both doors of the track vehicles of the ride vehicles.
Okay.
Um Although in Tokyo Disney Sea, that whole ride, it's all just under Andy's bed. In fact, the interior show scenes of the actual game boards actually show some bedding to kind of some bedding on the wall to kind of like emphasize that.
That's so
And
fun.
yeah, that's a pretty cute little detail.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So that goes into my next question. What other sorts of tips, tricks, secrets did you learn that you can share? Because we don't want to upset the mouse. We don't want to
Hmm.
upset your boss. But
Yeah.
any other of those like really fun things that you learned by being a cast member?
Well, for starters, you have to aim higher to launch farther. You gotta make sure you watch for all those. Wait, are we talking about Toy Story Mania?
We can talk about anything. Just anything Disney related. I love getting the secrets. I'm gonna be there in 2 weeks.
Okay.
I'm like,
I
okay.
will say lightning lanes are a bit silly to work with. I managed to use them twice while I was there. There was a single time where my family was visiting and we bought them like midday when it was still branded as Genie Plus at that point. We bought them midday while we were in Animal Kingdom and managed to get some lightning lanes and stuff. Parked hopped, use a few more. It was nice. And then like the other time I tried was during the rebrand when they announced that you can now make them 3 days in advance. I made the smart decision not to book one for Slinky Dog Dash because oh boy, Slinky Dog Dash. Those were some late reservation times and we were looking to go for some other ones first.
Mhm.
Usually what we tended to do was just like do some like throwaway lightning lane times first and then like booked other ones later on
Mhm.
and we managed to get a lot done. This was my last day visiting the parks, so yeah. That was fun. Um I will say that like lightning lanes is a very confusing system. Once you get the hang of it, like it kind of makes sense, but it kind of doesn't. And I don't know, I feel like overall I see like a lot of mixed reception to it. Some people they like it because they can like plan out their days and everything and like know that they want to get to a certain ride at a certain time. Others find the system horribly confusing, which I understand because there's just a lot of like little stipulations that come with it. Like, what's a multi-pass? What is this single pass? What does this mean? What's a virtual queue? I always got virtual queue. I was always on the ball with that.
I don't think that there was ever a
Um,
time that I didn't get it either. We had it down to a science. So I loved virtual queues.
yeah, I had it down to a science as well. Like I was always riding Cosmic Rewind.
Yeah.
Best roller coaster, by the way. So much fun.
My son says the same
And
thing. I can't stomach it. It is like the one thing I cannot do, but my whole family loves it, so we still do
I
it.
love the quotes too, like, "Hey, it's about time." Of course it's about time. Have you not been paying attention? Uh, Now where's that cake toast?
That's right. I'm waiting for the
And
t-shirt
yeah,
about cake toast. Someone has to put together a cake toast.
someone needs to do that.
I
Someone needs to
don't
like get a
I
graphic
don't know
design and
why it
actually
hasn't
design it.
existed yet.
And then yeah, Toy Story Mania, I learned a lot of little secrets writing that over and over. I totally lost count of how many times I wrote it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of learned that like there's a secret in Ham's games that's actually not really worth getting because it usually takes time away hitting other more consistent targets that can net you more points. So like you got to get the fox that spawns the chickens, hit the moles at the bottom that spawn 1000 point moles.
Uh-huh.
Um you gotta and like for dino darts, you gotta hit the little lava streaks and make the volcano erupt.
Hmm.
And then two meteors pop up. You gotta
Yep.
knock both down three times at meteor shower. Green Army men, two plates pop up. You hit those, and then it flings 5,000 point targets. Buzz Lightyear, ring all the aliens as fast as you can, and it launches up. Big robot, eats your rings. And then Woody's was a little tricky. You got to hit all the 100s and then knock the entire board down, and then it explodes with
Hmm.
high point targets. Yeah, there's a lot that I learned.
Okay.
Some stuff that I already knew, some stuff I didn't know. Um, and it took a while for me to finally get the bear prize at the end, but it felt very, very satisfying to finally get there.
Have you been able to do it on your own, or do you need to have a second person helping you out?
First time I got it, I was with my girlfriend, and she helped me out with some of the harder to hit
Okay.
secrets.
Okay.
But I did eventually manage to gain the skill to do it on my own, and my highest score on that ride currently, which is 300,000 excuse me, 350,000 points. I managed to do that one solo.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I'm still working on trying to figure out how to break 400,000,
Yeah.
but that's not going to be for a while, especially since I don't have the keys to the kingdom anymore.
Yeah.
So
Oh, well, let's talk about what is next because your college program ends. You did not extend. You just did the one.
yeah, I did extend through the summer, but after that I came right back home to resume my studies at college.
Okay, awesome. Um, so you're currently finishing up your degree,
Hmm.
and what are you studying?
What am I studying? I'm currently studying art with an emphasis on animation.
Awesome.
Um, I've been feeling a little burnt out lately, admittedly, so it's been a little hard for me to focus on my creative journey. But ultimately, I do want to find some way to motivate me to actually like get myself to truly lock in and just finally just get myself where I want to be and work on the passions that I want to work on.
Yeah.
It's definitely a long-term goal that I'm not quite sure how to hit just yet, but I'm working on it. I'm trying to figure myself out one step at a time.
Yeah, and part of it is you do have to kind of not just focus on that end goal, but enjoy the journey as it's
Yeah.
going on and see what unfolds from that. So I know that we met Mario at the beginning of the interview,
Yes. Yes, I
and
did.
and I know what's coming up next, but why don't you tell everyone that's listening what is next on the horizon besides classes?
So what's next on the horizon? If I could just pull this out and show you. I don't know if there's anyone who's like tabbed out of the video who can't see, but I'm doing Mario Kart now. So, yeah, like bit of a long story with that one actually. I once I came back home, I was in stuck in a little bit of a rut because I worked at Target as my first job, and I assumed that like when I came back home, I would be able to just keep working for Target, and I was able to tell that I was still technically employed because I was still able to use my 10% discount when grabbing my groceries and stuff while it was there. So I was still under them, but when I came back home, I'm guessing there was some miscommunication because I discovered that I was terminated because I was gone for so long, and now I that left me stuck trying to find some new opportunity. So yeah, that was just kind of like a long, long battle trying to find any local place that could hire me. Like I tried applying to some position at Six Flags or whatever, trying to apply to my some local businesses like my local Panda Express, some random pizza place in Northridge. My mom tried to push for like one location in Jersey Mike's, but I was just like, that one's a little far. or like just anywhere really. Like I tried Chipotle and it was just like, do any of these interview times work for you? And I'm just like, those are all during class. No.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, like it was long and hard, but I did in the midst of this, I did try Universal Studios Hollywood a few times over, and I've even had some hardships there. Like I tried for their food stand position and they filled it before they could get to me. I tried for a barista role. I got a phone call interview, but I didn't make the cut, probably because I didn't prove that like I would be loyal to that position or something. I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it. And then another time I tried auditioning for the characters at Super Mario. That didn't quite pan out. I didn't get a call back, but I mean, hey, that was fun
Yeah, it was
when
fun
I
to
did
audition, I'm
that.
sure.
And then yeah, like um the last thing I attempted applying to was a ride operator position. When they opened that up during the spring, I was kind of watching their job boards, just paying attention to that, and I did have a connection from someone who worked at Illumination. Thank you, Ashley. He helped me find a connection that brought me in direct contact with one of the hiring managers at the park. And from there, we stayed in touch. That helped me get me through to a recruiter for Ride Ops. And I managed to secure an interview for Mario Kart specifically because I tried to push for that one
Yeah.
because of how passionate I am for Nintendo. And from there, like the rest was history. I'm like the interview ended really well. Dude was just like okay, like I gave her my schedule and she was like, "Oh yeah, I could work with this." Okay, so thank you. We'll give you a call for yada yada. I think by the time they say we'll give you a call, I think that's just basically them saying like you're in.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Um,
So you
yeah,
finished your
and
training.
I finished my training. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm officially a part of the team. I
Awesome.
completed the exam. Yeah, I'm now doing ride operations for Mario Kart in Super Nintendo World, all the way down in the lower lot of Universal Studios Hollywood.
Oh my gosh. So, okay. Um, have you done a shift yet?
I after training, not yet.
Okay.
There's I believe it's gonna take some time before I start getting like scheduled on their terms. I did put myself on call and I picked up a shift for Saturday at 8 a.m.
Okay.
So yeah, that's something to look forward to. And not gonna lie, these little badges, they look pretty cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so you get to do ride operations. So obviously I don't have any questions yet, but I would be so curious as a follow-up just to find out how is it going to be different than your experience with Disney? Because I know down in Florida, there's a lot of similarities between the two parks, and there's also a lot of differences. And I'm going to be curious to see coast to coast if that shows as well.
Yeah. All right. I'd say like one of the bigger differences is probably my commute there. Because I have my own form of transport, I can actually drive myself there. I live around like 25 odd miles from that park. So it's not too far out
Mhm.
to where I need to be. Um it takes a while to get there. I'll definitely say that much, like especially in heavy traffic on the weekdays. Um, but then like once I'm there in the parking, like that's not all because unlike the Disney parks like Disneyland and Disney World or heck even Universal's own Orlando resorts, this is a theme park that was built as an extension of their real working movie studios. So
Mm-hmm.
the lay of the land is very, very different. I can't just walk around backstage to where I need to be. I
Yeah.
need to park, kind of like near City Walk, and walk kind of all the way down through the employee gates. And I kind of need to weave myself in guest view, kind of in the central area, and take those darn escalators down all the way down. So many flights of escalators, and then I'm there at my home location. Um, what's very silly is that like Mario Kart is the farthest distance that you can walk from the front gate to the entrance of the ride. So yeah, there's that. Like it used that name used to go to Transformers, but now it's Mario Kart because
Okay.
like it's past there. You have to take a left through the big warp pipe and all the way there.
Well, I'm excited that you get to do that one because that's not only is what they're building with Mario just so
Yeah,
cool and it's so nostalgic
it
um
is.
for so many of us. I mean, truly generations it is
Yeah.
nostalgic. So,
I grew up during the Wii era, pretty
yeah.
much. Like my gaming journey started with the PlayStation 2, but after the Wii, I was hooked on Nintendo ever since.
Yeah.
And yeah, if there's anything that I'm more passionate about than Disney, Pixar, Star Wars, Marvel, it's definitely Nintendo, Super Mario. Those are the things that I tend to identify with more than Disney. Like kind of like Disney's kind of like a very close second, but it's definitely Nintendo being like the thing that I'm most passionate for, bar none.
That's awesome. Okay, so Gavin, are you ready for the magic minute questions?
Yeah, lay it on
Okay,
me.
so
I'm
this is
ready.
this is like our rapid fire. It is not, you do not have to answer these in a minute. It might take a little bit longer, but the
Of
whole
course.
idea is come with the first thing that comes to your head. Okay, what is your favorite Disney movie?
My favorite Disney movie, I've mentioned earlier, but it's Wall-E by and like bar none. It's genuinely such a great story, captivating visuals, just everything about it. It's just such a sweet, touching, lighthearted film. It's also got a really good message as well. I mean, like heck, like we kind of live in a consumerist society. Like heck, I was very aware of that when buying so much dang Disney merch while I was there in the Disney bubble. But what can you do? What can you do? Just be environmentally responsible for yourself. Clean up after your junk.
Mhm.
Just make sure that you leave this world better than how you found it.
That's right. That's my motto. I love it. Okay, number two, what character do you identify with the most?
Hmm. There's definitely a lot of characters. I mean, like Wally, definitely for like his curious personality. Mario and Luigi, absolutely for like the way that they love going on adventures. I love going on adventures. Like I'm always like just taking myself through the front gates of like whatever theme park that I'm able to go in. Like I can go to Universal for free now. I'm taking advantage of that heavy already.
Yeah.
Trying new foods and everything. And yeah, there's definitely a lot more as well. I mean, BB-8's just very silly.
Awesome. Okay, if you could only visit one of the Disney parks, which one would it be?
Does it have to be California or Florida or either or?
It could be either, or any of the other parks, any of the Disney parks throughout the world.
Throughout the world. Okay. If I can only visit one, what's the hypothetical exactly?
You only get one. That's it. For
Just
an
one.
entire
Okay.
life, you
Crap.
could only get one.
Because I would say Hollywood Studios for having like all my favorite rides, but then like I miss out on a bunch more.
Mhm.
Goodness gracious.
No, it's hard. I can't even
Um,
answer my own question.
uh, I mean, can we park hop at Disneyland?
You're cheating. All right, so you
I don't know, like maybe California Adventure, maybe one of the international parks that I haven't visited yet.
okay.
I visited Paris before, but
Okay.
the others not yet. They're on my bucket list.
Gavin, you did a really good job of not answering that question. Okay. Um, moral of the story, Gavin loves all of them. Good, moving on. If you only have time for one ride, so like you're there but you can do one ride and then you have to leave. One ride, Gavin. What would it be?
Toy Story Mania.
Good.
Sorry, not
Okay.
sorry.
I
I need to
know.
get that high score.
Yeah. Okay. What is your favorite snack on property
Favorite snack? Ooh, I've had a lot of good snacks. Like
or meal?
they
It
have
can be a
those.
meal too.
Yeah, meal.
Mhm.
Can I just say Woody's Lunchbox serves a dang good grilled cheese.
Yes, it does.
And also like I've the grown-ups lemonade as well. It's like it's good. Like it's like a cherry lemonade spiked with like what was it? Was it vodka, rum? I forget. But that's good. Some really good stuff.
Okay.
Definitely a very sippable drink.
Okay. So you're going to Woody's Lunchbox. You're getting your grilled cheese and your adult lemonade.
Yeah.
I love it.
I
Good.
don't look it, but I'm 22.
Okay. And then do you have any other tips or tricks for a Disney guest that could make their experience better?
It looks overwhelming, but take it easy. Don't let everything intimidate you. And you don't have to do everything. Just make a list of the attractions that you want to prioritize first and foremost and emphasize those. And if you have time for others, you can or like maybe you see a show coming up that you want to do, hit it up. Go for it. Just remember that it's not a race and it is expensive. So maybe this is your only time here and you want to take advantage of everything, but just take it easy. Who knows? Maybe you might have a chance to come back someday. Probably not, but who knows? Maybe you might get that big promotion you've always wanted and you can finally have the Disney money that you want to go again. But
Yeah.
just take things slow, prioritize the places you want to be, take advantage of lightning lanes, but don't let that overwhelm you. Just like buy into it if you feel like that's going to help enhance your experience and get yourself through lines that are going to be otherwise slow and arduous.
Mhm.
And as just like bring some people that you connect with as well. Like doing park days solo was definitely fun, but it's only fun if it's like just a perk that you have like like being a pass holder or someone who works there. If you're going in there for a vacation, bring some people. Just bring some friends that you can just talk to, have fun with, play games with while you're waiting in line. Just just don't forget that you're there to have fun. So, like you're here to have fun. So just remember that like just you can go at this at your own pace. No one's forcing you to go anywhere. If that big attraction you wanted to go to like has a giant wait time that you don't want to do, then that's okay. Like maybe you can like jump over somewhere else and who knows, maybe it might die down a little later. And I guess the last thing is just prepare for the dang weather because Florida sucks.
This
Bring
is
an umbrella if you need to. Bring a
this is you com
poncho.
this is you coming from California with the perfect weather.
I mean, it
So,
was raining during my training period at Mario Kart,
yeah.
so
Oh, that's unique. Um,
it was
I,
kind of sprinkling, but still.
yeah, okay, okay. Not a
Yeah,
full
it was.
downpour.
I saw a video once of a kid that was like swimming through the waters in Tomorrowland, and
No,
just it was just like it was like the water was like right like an inch above the concrete. There was just a kid that was just splashing on the ground.
you were there at the st oh, I guess you were there all summer long. So
Yeah,
you,
I was there when the hurricane hit. Yeah, that
okay.
was, oh geez, yeah.
Yeah.
It was very, very difficult. I
Hmm.
will say that they do have precautions in place for bad weather. If weather is inadequate, if there's lightning nearby, if like rain is starting to pour down heavy for long periods of time, they tell everyone to close down their carts and move to a safe location until they give the all clear.
That's so good. I mean, you want them to protect the cast members. Like that, obviously safety is important. But I love
Yeah,
hearing that too because those Florida storms, sometimes they come out of nowhere
they
and
do.
they're fast and they're fierce. And I love that not even just the guests on the rides, but you guys as cast members, you're taken care of as well. That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
exactly. They emphasize hydrating a lot. They
Hmm.
give you a water bottle during training. They're just like water. You
Yeah.
need to hydrate. Like it's not the best water bottle in the world, but it's something that gets you through the day.
Right.
Just remember to hydrate because if you're especially if you're working outdoors, you're you're prone to getting like you're prone to like all the outdoor elements of the heat.
Hmm.
You gotta drink the water, and when it's winter time, just gotta remember to put on those coats, to wear to like wear any undergarments that will help keep you warm underneath your outfits.
Because especially if you're going in January, February, you're going to get all of the season
Yeah.
in a series of 2 days.
Yeah, I arrived when it was freaking cold and I left when it was freaking hot.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, well that's it. You did it. You passed.
Yay!
Yes, congratulations.
Woohoo!
Okay, so Gavin, thank you so much again. And
Yeah.
do you have a way that listeners, if they want to check out what you're doing or follow you, do you have a way that they can do that?
To follow me. Okay. Well, I typically keep my personal life to myself, but I do have an art account where I post little drawings and stuff of my little passions. It's Pixamator, Piximator on Instagram, on Blue Sky, on well, I would say Twitter, but someone took that handle. So
Okay.
so
So
so yeah,
Instagram and
like
Blue Sky.
yeah, Instagram, Blue Sky. Eventually I'll start posting on YouTube again. Who knows? One
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Well, Gavin, thank you so much again. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to like everything that awaits me. They're building a new roller coaster at Universal Studios Hollywood with the same ride system as Cosmic Rewind with the spinning vehicles,
Oh,
based on Fast and the Furious.
they're still doing Fast and the Furious?
Well, they closed down the last part of the tram tour,
Okay.
so
Okay.
they closed down Supercharged to make way for the new coaster.
Okay. All right.
And also, it not only does do the vehicle spin, but it also goes upside down.
Oh, wow. They had to one up
So
Disney. Yeah. That's so
I
cool. That's so cool. Well,
don't
Gavin,
know.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you again for having me. This was fun.
Good. Good, good, good. I'm excited with how these conversations are going. So many amazing tidbits that we're getting. So,
Yeah.
and I love just being able to celebrate you and because again, I never got to be a cast member, but I certainly do appreciate what you guys do to make guests' experiences so magnificent. So,
Hmm.
this is just really fun to be able to celebrate you guys. So, thanks.
Yes, absolutely. It was fun making the magic.
Good. Good, good. All right. I will talk to you soon.
All right.
All right. Best of luck on Saturday with your first shift.
Yes, thank you so much. It's definitely gonna it's probably gonna be a lot because because it's a Saturday. Most people roll in when it's a Saturday. The ride's probably gonna break down a ton,
It,
dropping their visors in front of the carts.
yes, you'll get you'll get to do everything on that first shift.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, best of luck.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Until then, till the spire.
All right. Bye.
Bye bye.
That's a wrap on this episode of Backstage Pass. I hope you loved getting a glimpse behind the magic with me today. As a note, the stories and views expressed in this podcast are not affiliated with, endorsed by, or sponsored by the Walt Disney Company. And the stories, they don't stop here. I want to hear from you. If you're a current or former Disney cast member with a story to share, or if you've had a truly magical experience with a cast member in the parks, I'd love to feature it on a future episode. Reach out to me at the link in the show notes. And of course, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with fellow Disney fans. Until next time, keep believing in the magic.